the Burr impression is great. Nobody really does a Burr impression, and to do it that well, it's hard because it's like if you sing, it's like being able to sing Zeppelin. You know, some people are good singers, but you can't sing Zeppelin. You got to fucking kick yourself in the nuts to get some of those notes out. Because Bill is a high voice guy. Yeah. So not a lot of people can even hit that range.
I saw someone do it. Nick Vatterad. You know Nick Vatterad?
Yeah.
One of them, a brilliant comedian. I saw him do it like 4 years ago.
Yeah. I saw that too.
Wow. And I didn't try it for about 2 years. And then I was in my room just like, all right, brutal. All right, this is fucking brutal. All right, it's fucking brutal. Fucking brutal. And then I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Jesus Christ. Then I did my act in it, and everyone's like, that was brilliant. And I was like, that's the act I've been doing for 10 years.
But when Bill Burr does it.
It's like, anybody live off the L train? You know, the goddamn thing shutting down, and everyone's like, this is great.
It's great. You know, it's fucking amazing because I love impressions. I just think they're fucking hilarious. It's not just sounding like it. It's the inflection, the cadence and everything, and you nail it. And sometimes it is a lot easier to see somebody else do an impression first.
That's it.
It's not like you're ripping them off, but it kind of solves a puzzle for you. You try doing one, and then it's like, oh, fuck, I've been trying, but that guy nailed it. So now I'll just do an impression of him doing it.
A lot of mine are just Dana Carvey.
Yeah. Yeah. I liked the George W. is good. And your facial expressions.
Yeah, that was. It's. I like to do George Bush ordering Indian food for the first time. So I love the chicken tikka chicken lick. I'll just have the naan. That's. I miss.
Yeah, the facial expressions are fucking great. And
a lot of it came from just not being heard. I'm 5'2". So it's like when you're on stage and you're doing them, people just like they listen.
Yeah.
His seat's higher than mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, look. I have a mustache.
You understand?
I have a big, manly mustache.
Very manly over here. Shit for doing Burr from Burr, or does he like it?
I don't know, but some of his friends were like, "I'm going to email it to him."
Good.
And I know, and so I know he saw it, but But I was going to open for him from the video, and then the show was canceled or something.
Oh shit.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, but you know.
And the funny thing is, years ago when we first met Bill Burr, years ago, back when like that softball game was going on, if you did a Bill Burr impression, people would go, "Who?" So it's very nice that he's a very popular and successful comic.
He won't like it. He's self-conscious, but you know, it's like.
So do an impression of him not liking it. That would be it, you know.
Well, so what happened was I did a master class, Bill Burr teaching a master class. Just like you got to fucking hold it like a goddamn man. Teaching stand up to a bunch of like pansies in Brooklyn. And everyone's like, "Has Bill seen it? What does he think?" And it was getting so annoying. So I did an impression of Bill's podcast reviewing my impression, and then people thought that was real. And I went down this deeper rabbit hole. Like, I heard you. So
yeah, that's when people think it's real, because obviously when I do the Dice impression and did it years ago, people thought Dice was working at WNEW as a janitor, because that's how we presented it. It was during one of Dice's little lulls in his career.
People are so fucking dumb.
I know. It was in between when Dice was Dice, the Dice Man,
right,
and the new Dice now, where he's older and hilariously funny.
Oh, you mean the 90s and all the beginning of 2000 to 2000?
All right, it was a long lull. We all agree.
You're like, I'm going to sneak in and get this.
Yeah. So it was viable that he could be a janitor at WNEW.
It was pretty much Ford Fairlane, and now he's in a Lady Gaga movie.
So you do what? You did the voice on the radio?
Yeah. So I would do the voice on the radio, and people... I guess Club Soda Kenny was his security guy. Right. Called Dice and said, "There's some guy doing your voice. It sounds like you." And Dice loved it and started coming on the show. And
we're responsible for his lull.
Maybe his lull. They're like, he's not doing.
Do you know you were doing Andrew Dice Gay?
Yeah, then we did Andrew Dice Gay. We did Dice on Ice. Anything you put Dice in. It was like the Ice Capades. I'm doing a Hamill Camel. That's what it is. A triple Salchow. And I stick the fucking landing, you faggot. So people really thought it was Dice.
Yeah, it's fucking
and he came on and started calling me out on it. And we were arguing, and I was doing his voice. And he goes, I'm not going to sit here and argue with me.
Oh, I love when you had him on your show.
Yeah.
And then you couldn't stop talking in his voice, and he's just like, Anthony, stop.
He goes, well, you're going to do it all day.
It's hard to stop, though, right?
Yeah.
I used to do Woody Allen, and I'd go on a date, be like, I'm having a real existential crisis. Really, I am. You're a knockout, but you're not even related. It would just go on for weeks.
Yeah, you
just go on and on. It's fucking. And Chip is the worst because I'll do Chip impressions out at dinner and things like that because it's just fucking funny.
And no one knows it.
Fuck yeah, you don't even know what you just said. Fucking hilarious. 10 minutes on string beans, go. What? What are you talking about?
There's a weird thing, though, in this stand-up scene where some people think it's hack to do impressions.
Yeah.
But regardless, they still will love them.
Yeah.
So
it's a
like,
weird thing.
I had a comedy club owner to be like, you got to stop doing them.
Wow.
Told me I couldn't do them at the club. And
that's astonishing, though, because usually the audience is the one who enjoys it the most.
It kills.
It's other comics who might give you shit, but the audience is going to love it.
Secretly, they're like, that sounds just like Bill. That's
no.
Yeah.
I'm a comic who can't do impressions, and it's pure jealousy.
There's a way to present
Brewster
it.
Fucking his daughter, and that I can't really do on stage.
Punker. There's a way to do them on stage where it's different than, the old school. I remember watching when I was a kid, watching variety shows, and they'd have these impressionists on. They weren't even comics; they were called impressionists.
Right.
And they'd come on, and they kind of sounded like the person, and they had no material. They didn't have the material. Like Jay Moore does a spot on Colin Quinn, and it's not just because he sounds like Colin. He says shit that Colin would say. Right. And it's important to do that. These impressionists were always so bad. It would sound something like this.
Oh, yeah.
Fix their hair.
And you're like,
I think we're stuck. God. A lot of people are stuck back there, and then I do stand up and I mix it in.
Right, and mix it in, and that's
really
not...
only it was for an SNL tape. I never even did.
Oh, okay.
My manager's like, I only had George Bush because I did him in a play, and so I kept adding them in.
Yeah.
And then people were like, "You're an impressionist." I'm like, "Well, I'm not really. It's another thing to entertain people with."
Yeah. It's part of what you do.
Yeah.
It's not, I'm an impressionist.
And then you look at Jim Carrey, who got to play Andy Kaufman and all. It's like.
Yeah, he was.
Actor, so
I think he was pretty much considered an impressionist back.
His early work,
Carson.
Well, even like he just does Sammy Davis Jr. singing the song. Like it is really more of an impressionist.
Yeah. And he did the thing that put him over the top too was the facial expressions looking like the guy. When impressionists could do that, you did that with what's his name from that fucking La La Land.
Oh, Gosling, yeah.
Yeah, you did Gosling, and I'm looking going, fuck, the guy looks like Gosling.
Oh, well, I was sitting with my lawyer in L.A., and he goes, I want to get you on SNL. And I had 3, and he's like, "You look like a funny-looking Gosling."
A funny-looking Gosling.
And I just kept watching him. It just looks like he's always just smelling something bad.
Yeah.
I don't even do his voice. It's just and that's it. That's like his acting career.
Jim Carrey did some funny impressions back in the 70s, I guess it was, and even 80s on The Tonight Show.
Yeah.
And it was, he would bend his face and look like the fucking guy.
Well, he made a little movie called Rubber Face.
Yes, Rubber Face, one of his first movies. He did Michael Landon.
Yeah.
Happy and Michael Landon crying, and it was the same fucking face. He's just like...
Yeah, he does that little...
Yeah. Because on Little House on the Prairie, when he's happy, he would be kind of crying and all sad face. And then it's like he's sad, and he's sad face and crying. So it looked kind of the same. I always remembered him doing that one and thought it was brilliant.
Even on In Living Color, though, every skit he was in was just fucking...
I do one Jim Carrey. It's from In Living Color. I'll just...
Oh, here, you turned around.
Got to be fire marshal.
Oh, yeah. That was always fucking frightening.
That's fun. I love
that as a kid.
He was brilliant on that show. My God.
Yeah. He's been doing the longest impression of an asshole I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's going on 20 years.
And it's brilliant. It's spot on.
It's great.
He does these impersonations. I swear, you would think it was the real people.